Brisbane has a thriving music scene, with venues such as the Hi-Fi and the Brisbane Entertainment Centre playing host to a multitude of big-name bands and international acts live on stage every year. For music lovers, Brisbane has a lot to offer, but this comes with strings attached. And if you're under 18, those strings have you bound and gagged, virtually excluded from seeing any live music.
With the lack of venues and sort of things like that, it's just harder. Like, there needs to be more venues around.
At all ages venues, it's like a nice, clean environment for kids to have shows and have a community and hang out all the time.
But you can't sit back and wait for your council or your government to do something for you, because they don't make money from all ages venues, so they don't care.
The Brisbane live music scene is one in rapid deterioration. The problem lies not in the decline of music sales, nor the neglect of coverage from mainstream media, but rather in the lack of easily accessible all-ages music venues in the Greater Brisbane region. With venues such as the Princess Theatre, the Fort and the Alley being closed down the last few years, and Brisbane's latest all-ages venue, the Loft, being shut down hours before its opening show, the live music scene in Brisbane is slowly being driven extinct by pure unavailability.
The importance of having all-ages venues is having a place to commune for, like, younger hardcore kids and stuff. Like, I've been in the scene for 2.5 years, and I always see new kids' faces and stuff, and you can't expect that from 18 plus venues because they don't focus on music, and all ages venues, like, it's just for bands.
We hit the streets to find out how all ages gigs stack up against over 18 events in the eyes of the concert goers themselves.
I was at a lumber once and I was completely smashed by some really drunk guy. I just think it kind of ruins your experience.
It's being promoted to kids of an earlier age, younger age, so they want to get out there quicker. And if there's things for kids that are younger than 18, then you're catering for a younger generation that will take onto it, really.
It'd be much more fun if I was there and everyone else was as sober as I was.
Here at Kill the Music, store owner Paul Vogue has seen firsthand how the lack of all-ages venues in Brisbane is affecting not only the concert goers, but the potential for up-and-coming local independent bands to succeed. From personal experience, what is your view on the importance of all-ages venues?
If you're not over 18, you can't go to a show, and if you're not over 18, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be allowed to go to a show, if you know what I mean. All ages means everyone. I guess it's just the alcohol side of things, but if you take drinking away from it and we're just focusing on music, then all ages shows are obviously better because you can see everyone.
How does it affect you personally trying to sell their merchandise?
I mean, it can affect me, I guess, in a small level if a band has got a CD in here but no one's really heard the band because they don't really get a chance to do anything. It affects the bands, I guess, but at the same time it also, again, it affects them positively where they can just be like, you know, I have a house, let's just play a show here. Like, that might get shut down, but you can get away with it before anyone shows up. I mean, the more you play, the better you get as a band, you know what I mean? So that's why when you see a band that plays 1 million shows a year, they're pretty good. But you need that experience. So the fact that they're not getting the experience sucks because then they can't take their own band to the next level or whatever the hell they want to do.
We used to be able to play to a lot of all ages gigs, even back from when we were still based in Bundaberg. And the whole point of moving to Brisbane was to try and have a better shot at it, you know, be able to play to more kids, get more exposure. And then when the capital of the state doesn't have venues for all ages, like, your kids are being punished for not being old enough to be able to buy a beer and see the band, so they're just missing out. And yeah,
it really helps kids, man. Like, it keeps them off the streets, keeps them away from drug and alcohol, because the whole point, man, is this, you know, drug and alcohol free all ages event, you know, for fun, you know, chuck a mosh and have a good time. You know, a lot of bands need a lot of exposure, and lack of venues leads to, you know, lack of enthusiasm and fun from the kids, man.
In a city such as Brisbane, with such a thriving music scene, the importance of all ages venues is undeniable. But this seems to have been forgotten behind bureaucratic red tape, where enjoying the music has been confused with alcohol-fueled partying. It's almost as if we need to reinvent the word all ages. Music is for everyone, and access to it should be a right, not a privilege.
More yellow bikes, that's right. Take away live music, give more yellow bikes. Good job, Campbell Newman.